That's exactly what's happened. But early stage there, fairly patient build up by Adare, but good defending Newcastle West.
Yeah, Adare, in fairness to them, they don't waste too much ball. Like, so if they get on the ball, enough ball in this match, they're going to make hay. But very, very patient. They're unusual. That ball went in and over the end line. But if Newcastle are going to win the game, they'll have to make most of their own possession, because Adare won't give it up too easily.
Big kick out to Mike McMahon, and Mike McMahon has made that a trademark for many a year here in the Limerick Senior Football Championship. Long ball in there by Stephen Brosnan. Chance maybe for Newcastle West and Jamie Lee to open the scoring here in Rathkeale. That's gone to the left and wide, but you just see immediately, Pat, with this strong breeze in favour of Newcastle West, that went in long.
Yeah, the minute Mike won it, he moved it and they delivered. It was 1-on-1 inside. It looks like maybe Oran Collins is picking up Jamie, like, so he'd be fairly familiar with him with the inter-county team with Limerick, so that'll be an interesting battle. But it was 1-on-1 inside there, so Adare might want to watch that if they lose the ball.
Big kick out from Brendan Carmody into the breeze, but it's well taken by Ian Corbett there, and referee Jonathan Hayes. Bit of messing on the ball as Corbett tried to move it quickly. It's going to be moved forward in a scoring position now. Just be interesting to see who takes this free for Newcastle West. Owen Hurley seems to be taking charge of it. He'd fairly accurate game against Ballysteen. I don't want to be mentioning that, but he's well able to put over a free. Yeah,
he's been their free taker now for the last 2 or 3 games from what I've seen, and he definitely have the distance, especially with the breeze. Bit of a silly one there from Stephen Keeley to give away that.
Fine strike from Owen Hurley. Looks to be good from our angle here on the side, and that's it. And that's the start that Newcastle West would have wanted with this breeze.
Yeah, they'd probably have to make. It's judging by the intermediate game anyway. There was a 7-point lead at half time in that one, so it's certainly going to have to be a 4 or 5 point lead for Newcastle at half time in this.
And it's Newcastle West into that lead. They're working it back from their own defence at the moment. Patient out of their defence are there in this occasion. On Ryan with possession, ball played out. Working the ball around, very patient. They'll want to hold on to the ball and work it through the hands and work it through the lines into this very strong breeze, which is stiffening here in McNeville Park. Shane O'Connor now in possession. He's number 19, of course, that's Shane Doherty, their captain, wearing number 19, but starting heavily bandaged knee or heavily braced knee as David Connolly for Adare. Hugh Burke now in possession, but again Adare patient with this. Shane O'Connor. As Doherty is just hand passing, holding on to possession, Pan. Just very patient play from Adare.
Yeah, look, they just, like I said, they're not going to give it up too easily, and if they're going to keep moving the ball left to right, try and draw Newcastle out. Newcastle seem to be going fairly man to man with certain individuals anyway, and such as the breeze and the strength of it. In fairness, Adare probably won't be able to kick the ball too early into their full forward line, so it's probably between the breeze and just generally the way they move the ball. It's going to be a lot of the game when Adare have the ball played in the middle third in this first half anyway.
Paul Maher leaves this ball off to Hugh Burke, and Hugh Burke, bit of a foray into the attack now, and then on the ball is Davy Lyons. Davy Lyons taking on Stephen Brosnan. Lyons trying to beat Brosnan. He's got a bit of room, doesn't take on the shot. It's worked all the way back to David Connolly here. Back into the middle again. It's number 9, that's Jack English in possession. Decides to go backwards and out to David Connolly again. Adare start again with Shane Doherty into Stephen Keeley. Newcastle West being very patient in defence, not engaging too much, not wanting to give away needless frees. There isn't a Newcastle West man down in the Adare half. We'll move on from this. It's good work from Adare, and a chance maybe early on, looking for a free, not given. Newcastle West come away with it. That's number 18 is Seamus Hurley, who comes away. It's eventually cleared long, and it's going to be AJ O'Connor in possession, and that's going to be a foul on AJ O'Connor over on that far touchline. O'Connor looking to take it quickly. Newcastle West would have wanted that to keep going, but Jonathan Hayes may be shown an early card here.
Yeah, in fairness, defender's hat on there now. There wasn't too much that the Dare could do with it. AJ O'Connor went straight at him. He just kind of took the tackle and fell with it. Like, I don't know what. It's certainly not a black card, but there could be an early ticking. It looks like there was no yellow or black, I don't think, issued there. So good defender there from Newcastle. Adair Ramos and Ronan Connolly, if he took it into his hand first time, they're very good at that.
Quick ball, and it's O'Connor in possession again here for Newcastle. In fact, that's not its own Hurley. Over the far side now, it's Thomas Quilligan with possession. It's an advantage here as Hurley has a pop at that. It's a fantastic score indeed it is. It's a second for Owen Hurley. Was it Jamie Lee? I'm not sure. Was it Jamie?
Thomas Quilligan, I think, actually, the guy on the end of it. Thomas Quilligan off the left leg. So a big score. He had advantage, so it was probably a shot to nothing and it went over. And 2 points to nothing up. They've made the most of the ball they've got up there, in fairness to Newcastle West.
So they're restarting things here now.
So Newcastle on the attack there again now. And Owen Hurley popping off to Ian Corbett, breaking through. Chance for Newcastle. Now that could be, he could be in trouble here, right? David Connolly could be in trouble here. Certainly Newcastle lads think that could be a black card, and Ian's always a very hard man to stop when he's breaking through like that. So there's definitely a point coming here. It might even, Jonathan just saying it was accidental, so look, it's a fair call to be fair. He just fell, and it's going to be a free in, and it's probably going to be 3 points to nothing after this. Yeah, good work again by Newcastle West in attack there. Should be an easy enough one for Owen Hurley. Newcastle West the dominant side, but you'd expect that with the wind in the early stages here in McNeville Park. 7 minutes gone, and it's going to be Owen Hurley again, looking for his second free of this evening. Just over 21 metres out, maybe 22. Brings it to 20. And pops that over with pretty much ease, really. You'd expect that, and it's a fantastic start for Newcastle. Yeah, look, they're kind of putting pressure on the kickouts as well here, so in fairness they're making hay with what they've done, and they'll be delighted with this start, as you've said. And that ball looks like it's heading out over the sideline as well, like, so, and the noise levels are going to pick up as well with that. Yeah, it is, and Adare under pressure. Brendan Carmody with that kick out, gone straight over the sideline, as Parana mentioned. And this is suiting Newcastle West down to the ground at the moment. It's going to be Brian Hurley to take this. In fact, he's going to leave it free in Corbett. And Paz, one that Ian's going to have a crack at, do you think? I would think not. Like, he could just if they're trying to make the most of what they have, they need to be keeping balls at this. Like, so he's delivered it in long there, and looks like it's going to be an Adare ball coming out. Indeed, it is, and it's the Adare number 15, Shane O'Connor, who bobbles it, but it eventually comes back to the Adare keeper, Brendan Carmody, played out. And it's Adare with possession over on that far side here. David Connolly with the ball. Does well to get away from a couple of Newcastle defenders, and away come Adare with Shane Doherty. As Paranan mentioned, they're going to have to be patient into this breeze, but it's been a good pressure from Newcastle West in defence, and pressed up on that occasion. They're away here, and it's AJ O'Connor in possession. O'Connor's fouled again, and it's another chance here for Newcastle West to extend their lead to 4 points. Yeah, it's a bit, that's just outside, just on the 45 nearly, so Owen Hurley again will be stepping up to hit it. But yeah, they're really pressing them a bit higher now, and Adare, in fairness, they're getting caught carrying the ball into tackles. They need to just go back to what they were doing at the start and what they've been doing all year, and keep the ball out of trouble. But at the minute, Newcastle are they're driving on, and they're pushing up man to man, and they're turning them over high up the field, which is giving them a chance to score almost straight away. Adare need to be a bit more disciplined at the tackle as well. There's been 3 or 4 now frees in scoring distance, especially with this breeze. So we'll see what Owen does with this, but he should certainly have the distance. It's just close enough to 50 metres out for Owen Hurley, looking for his third of this evening's game. The distance is there, the accuracy looks to be there again. That's Newcastle West now into 4 points to no score lead, just over 9.5 minutes played, and this is a dream start for Newcastle. Yeah, it is, certainly. It's exactly what they wanted if they were going to win the game. I suppose, look, from Adare's point of view, they're used to this. In the last year's county final, they were down 5 or 6 as well early in the first half, and they don't seem to panic, but you know, it's in a position now where Newcastle will be delighted the way the game is going. Back underway here, good catch in midfield by Stephen Keeley for Adare. Just slows things down before leaving the ball off to Ronan Connolly. It's missed by O'Connolly though, and it's going to be Brian Hurley in possession for Newcastle West. Leaves the ball back to William Hurley. And Jamie Lee now in possession, coming out from his full forward berth. Brian Hurley again, and Jamie Lee wearing number 26. Heavily bandaged left hand, broken wrist, or broken bone in his hand earlier on this year. Just hit a cast on yesterday in Bruff, and he seems to have got it removed this morning, so he could play today. It's Newcastle West now with a patient build up. Michael O'Leary with the crossfield ball, and time and possession there for Seamus Hurley. Inside to Ian Corbett, and just handy ball over to William Hurley. Hurley now assessing his options, gives it to Brian Hurley. Newcastle West fairly content to hold on to the ball. They're 4 points to no score up here after just over 10 minutes of this game. It's the Limerick Senior Football Championship semi-final. Michael O'Leary now, and Newcastle on it again. Bit of pace injected by Ian Corbett, but has overcarried it. Play has been brought back for Newcastle West free, and Ian Corbett was blown up for steps, but ran in. It's another chance for Owen Hurley. Yeah, they were playing advantage there. Jonathan was, maybe it's the edge of what Owen's capable of here. It's pushing out towards the 65-9 here, but if he kicks it the way he kicked the last few, he's probably got the distance. But they're just the balls are dropping just in Newcastle's way at the minute. They're getting the calls and a few frees, and even Ian got caught over carrying there. But but got the free anyway. So I'll happily step out of the way now. Here, there's the resident co-commentators in the house, so that's here now. So I'll go back to watching duties. Thanks
very much to Par Ranahan, former Limerick Inter-County star. I'm delighted to be joined now in commentary by Matt O'Callaghan, who was obviously caught up in that horrendous traffic coming in from the Gaelic grounds through Adare. Matt, Newcastle West into 4 points to no score lead, 3-0 Hurley frees, and a fantastic score from Thomas Quilligan from play. Newcastle West dominant with this breeze in the opening 12 or so minutes.
Yeah, they obviously have the breeze, and I suppose it seems to be a strong breeze. But is it blowing exactly straight down the field? I'm not so sure, but it is obviously supporting him and backing him at the minute. And of course, you know, Newcastle West will want to get as big a lead as they possibly can, because they know what Adare are quite capable of once they get going. But it was at this stage last year that any club came nearest to laying a glove on Adare, which was in the semi-final against Monaghan, and I suppose in that particular evening they showed a different side of their character. They showed a resilience. We always knew that they had the football, but on that occasion they showed a resilience, and they seem to have driven on from that. But certainly Newcastle West, and I'm only just after joining the fray, from what I've seen and from what I've heard coming in along, like they have laid down a challenge.
100% they have. Is a free now for Adare, and it's going to be Robbie Burke with his left foot taking this one into the teeth of the breeze, just over midway between the 45 and 65, maybe a bit closer than that. Burke has struck that fantastically well, and that's Adare on the score sheet. Matt O'Callaghan with a fantastic score from Robbie Burke.
Yeah, it's an ideal score to get off the mark, and certainly I suppose he showed signs there of, or shades there of being a rugby kicker, the way he went about it. But he has this meticulous style when he goes about taking frees, and he's of course an excellent free kicker, and of course he's a goal kicker in rugby as well.
Yeah, fantastic score from Robbie Burke to get Adare on the score sheet here. Just coming up to 14, nearly 15 minutes played of this Limerick Senior Football Championship semi-final between the two winners of the last 2 years. Adare going for 3 in a row. Newcastle West, of course, last winning in 2015, Matt.
That's correct. In 2015 they beat Drum Broadford up in Kilmallock, and on that particular day and on that particular year, you would imagine that Newcastle West were going to be around for some time, because they went to Clonmel subsequently in the Munster Championship and did everything but win the game. And we all know Clonmel Commercials went on to win a historic Munster Championship that year.
Indeed they did. Newcastle West, that's a throw by William Hurley. And Adare now maybe just settling into a bit of a rhythm, better defending up the field from them around the middle of the park, and Stephen Keeley plays this ball out to the right hand side. And they're on the attack on that far side. Ball's played back to Keeley. And you look inside, Newcastle West funneling back numbers though. That's Oren Collins in possession. Ball's played out again to that right hand side. Again Adare looking for options in the full forward line, but none forthcoming. Keeley decides to go along to Robbie Burke. That one's going to be left harmlessly go over the end line by Darren O'Doherty. It's going to be a kick out for Newcastle West. But Matt, you just see Newcastle West funneling back in numbers. Very difficult for Adare to break through that at the moment.
Yeah, very difficult for them. But Adare will be patient, as you saw there. They were quite happy to go lateral, and they won't rush into anything. So you're right. The Newcastle West are funneling back, and if they're funneling back and they're playing with the wind, you can only imagine what they'll do when they're playing against it.
Ian Corbett now on the run. This spells danger for Adare. Corbett may go for goal. He's still going. Ian Corbett gives the ball off to Mike McMahon. Goal chance for Newcastle West, and Mike McMahon buries that past Brendan Carmody. Fantastic goal for Newcastle West, Matt, and that's just the tonic for them.
Yeah, absolutely, John. It really is the tonic, and it really puts it up to Adare, and we're really going to see what Adare are made of. Of course, like as we have been saying during the week, like they have an old score to settle with Adare. The manner in which they lost the 2017 final with that last minute Jack English goal. So it's going to be very interesting. 6 points.
Yeah, fantastic goal, fantastic finish from Mike McMahon on that occasion for Newcastle West goal. But Adare now maybe a bit more urgency in attack. on that far side again. Ball's looking to be played inside. No free given it there. Looking for it. It's going to be a free. Ooh, he has Jonathan Hayes decided it was a free for there. Much to the chagrin of Newcastle West players. There's a man down for there. We'll have a brief stoppage in play. Matt O'Callaghan, look, it's 1-4 to 1 point in favour of Newcastle West. There is a sizable breeze. We mentioned it on the ladies' football finals yesterday. A breeze doesn't win a game for anyone.
No, it doesn't. And we saw it with Adare yesterday. In their ladies, the way they came back, and the way they really put it up to further cases when playing against the breeze. But 6 points, John, is a sizable lead, and I am not so sure that looking out there at the breeze, it's not what you call a 6 points breeze.
No, absolutely not. As Adare get us back underway here after that free. David Connolly in possession for them. He's got Owen Ryan on this near side here in McNeville Park. But Owen Connolly still going forward with it. Sorry, David Connolly, and it's inside to Owen Ryan. Ryan plays the ball back inside. That's Owen Connolly's in possession now for Adare. Good pressure from Brian Hurley, and then added to by Sean Murphy on the Newcastle West side. It's out to this right hand side, and it's Jack Fitzgerald with the low ball up into attack. Back into Fitzgerald now. Good hand pass to him. But Newcastle West swarming around this Adare team, and it's Adare coughing up possession through Stephen Keeley. But Matt, that's excellent defence from Newcastle.
Yeah, but it's defence in numbers, because the only player inside the Adare half at that, the only Newcastle West player at that stage was Big Mike McMahon.
Yeah, it's Newcastle West on the attack now, but Adare have managed to get that turnover, and they look to move this pretty quickly. In possession, it's Ronan Connolly, and now it is Ronan Connolly in possession, taking that pass from his brother David up to Hugh Burke, and it's Hugh Burke under pressure from Ian Corbett. Burke manages to get that ball back to Ronan Connolly, and it's the Connollys combining once more. Played back inside. Hugh Burke shooting chance. He's going looking for excellent defending though from William Early on that occasion. But the referee Jonathan Hayes said he got that block in illegally, and it's going to be a scoreable free for Adare. And you'd imagine, well, given it that it's on the left hand side, it could be Hugh Burke to take this one, Matt.
Yeah, but it would look to be nailed on to be a point without giving it the commentator's curse. But we saw there when Hugh Burke had possession, there were three Newcastle West players around him. Like they closed him down completely, but also closed down his options. He wasn't able to get the ball away, and this is what they're doing now. It's a high intensity strategy, and to do it over 60 odd minutes is challenging, but it is successful so far. They have built themselves a sizable lead, although I think a little dent is going to be put on it now, because I would fancy, I think, Robbie Burke all day to put this one over.
It's going to be Hugh Burke by the looks of things, Matt, to take this one. equally as adept as his older brother at taking frees, certainly from this range. And it's one that Hugh Burke, you'd imagine, would pop in over in his sleeve. Looks to be a yellow card for one of the Newcastle players. It seems to be Darren O'Doherty that's been cautioned by Jonathan Hayes. And Hugh Burke now attempting to cut Newcastle's advantage from 1-4 to a point to 1-4 to 2 points, and that's no issue for Hugh Burke.
No issue. He put it over, but with the breeze, you'd always wonder about these frees. They're not as nailed on as they would be in other conditions. But like it's the way that Newcastle are absolutely defending in numbers. Now we have a huge break here in midfield, but it's Newcastle West through Sean Murphy that are breaking again. But it's Adare's turn in this time to swarm around the ball carrier in numbers.
Fantastic defending there from Adare. Sean Murphy tried to launch an attack for Newcastle West, and tried to move the ball, but once again it's Stephen Brosnan getting this one. It's Thomas Quilligan on it now, under good low ball in from Thomas Quilligan, looking for AJ O'Connor, and it's O'Connor certainly fouled on that occasion by the Adare defender. I think it was Ronan Connolly that's been adjudged to have fouled AJ O'Connor. Of course, AJ O'Connor playing inside the Munster Junior Cup inside the city today, Matt, for Fairview Rangers. 2-0 victory over Janesborough. Played that game. He looks like he's out again. He looks in fine form here again.
Absolutely, I suppose in the youth. But just looking at the Newcastle West team and looking at him here in the team sheet, like it is much changed. Even if you go back to 2015, and they've had a very good run at underage level at both minor and under 21 level, and they're beginning to filter them through now. And themselves and Father Casey's, that's Jamie Lee, and that's an excellent score. It isn't Jamie Lee actually. It's Owen Hurley.
Yeah, fantastic score there by Owen Hurley. It's another one for him. It's 3 out of 3 for Hurley so far. Very impressive. Sorry, that's 4 out of 4 for Owen Hurley. And that puts Newcastle West into a 1-5 to 2 points lead after 22 minutes, coming up to 22 minutes of this first half in the Limerick Senior Football Championship semi-final. It's Newcastle West on the attack again here. That's Mike O'Keefe in possession. O'Keefe looking for options. One of them options is Jamie Lee. Lee has done well to hold on to possession there and back inside to O'Keefe. Ian Corbett then switches direction. It's a bit of space here for Owen Hurley. Looking for a first from play. Gives the ball off to Sean Murphy instead. Murphy on the run here. Chance for Newcastle West. That's gone to the right and wide done. You'd imagine, Matt, that's further good play by Newcastle West, but one Sean Murphy may perhaps be looking at after the game.
Yeah, it is one that may come back to haunt him, but they're still 6 points clear at this point. 7-point cushion, they would be pushing it out. Although I actually think that the wind has abated somewhat. And
awful kick out there by Brendan Carmody. Goal chance here for Newcastle West, and it's buried by Owen Hurley. Crucial mistake from that kick out by the Adare goalkeeper Matt, and it's been punished to the fullest.
Yeah, it absolutely punished. It was Mike McMahon that intercepted the short kick out, spotted Owen Hurley in a much better position, and Owen Hurley didn't need a second invitation to put it into the back of the net. This is the greatest challenge that Adare have got since they made the breakthrough in 2017.
Absolutely it is. It's Newcastle West now into 2-5 to 2 points lead. Huge work for Harry Gleeson and his management team at half time if it continues to stay this way, but it's Adare on the attack immediately, and it's Oren Collins in possession. Gives the ball out to Ronan Connolly. Connolly now hand passes it back to Oren Collins. Shooting chance maybe for Shane O'Connor. He opts against it and plays the ball to number 13. That's Mikey Lyons on the run. Back to Shane O'Connor. O'Connor still going. Shooting chance for O'Connor. Cracks off the post. Ball does come back out for Adare though, and it's Paul Maher in possession. Back again to Shane O'Connor, but that's been snuffed out. It's William Hurley who does well to intercept for Newcastle West, and they'll work the ball out, playing the hand pass. Plenty of room out on this left hand side from Thomas Quilligan. Owen Hurley who'd funneled back inside his own 45, found him fairly quickly. It's now in possession over on that far side. It's Seamus Hurley, plays the ball to Mike O'Keefe, and faced by the Adare captain Shane O'Doherty. O'Keefe checks back, decides to slow everything back down as Sean Murphy now looking for a free from Hugh Burke, but not on this occasion does Jonathan Hayes blow his whistle. It's Jamie Lee now just around halfway, and Newcastle West starting again with William Hurley. Poor ball from William Hurley though. It's easily intercepted by Ronan Connolly, and Adare on the attack once more, Matt.
Yeah, you can't help but notice how fired up Newcastle West are. Like they are contesting everything, they are chasing everything. Like as I said, it's high risk strategy. The amount of energy that they're expending to do it over 65 minutes, and like it is probably the strongest Adare team that there has been in the entire competition.
Hugh Burke on the run here for Adare. It's a good attack. He's under a lot of pressure. Eventually gets a free. It's going to be another chance for Hugh Burke to add a second point, Matt. But just as you're saying, you're looking early on here. Okay, we're coming up near half time, just around 25 minutes on the clock. Adare in a fair amount of trouble.
They're in a fair amount of trouble, and it's an Adare team that has Paul Maher and has Stephen Keeley back and David Connolly. Like it's as near a full strength Adare team, which we didn't see all year. And the type of performance, Hugh Burke put that over while I was talking, but the type of performance that we have seen from Adare and the way they're been going about it and spreading it around in the games up to now, they're not being allowed doing it because Newcastle West are pressing. You saw how they pressed the kick out there even and forced the error with the short kick out with Mike McMahon, but Owen Hurley's finish was absolutely clinical, John.
Indeed it was, and it's 1-4 for Owen Hurley of the 2-5 that Newcastle West have scored. It's Brian Hurley's ball now up front, looking for AJ O'Connor inside a full forward at the moment. Good turn by AJ O'Connor. Does beat David Connolly, but fair ease, and AJ O'Connor off his weaker left hand side just tails to the left and wide. Chance for AJ O'Connor as Jonathan Hayes tells Adare keeper Brendan Cameron to hold up. He wants to have a chat here with one of it's an Adare man he's looking for, and it's going to be Paul Maher's having a word with Matt. We'll see if this is a yellow card or not, but it's a ticking either way for Paul Maher.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, is it for verbals or for I'm not so sure, because I actually followed the flight of the player, whether Jonathan Hayes spotted something behind his back. If he did, it's good refereeing. But obviously, if not, it could have been verbals. I'm not sure.
Either way, it's a yellow card for the Adare number 21, Limerick Inter-County player Paul Maher, who now has possession under pressure from Owen Hurley. And gets a free, does Paul Maher, fouled by Owen Hurley on that occasion. He's got a couple of options, gives the ball back. Adare shouting for more action there, the Adare support here, but their players are getting on with it. And it's out to Ronan Connolly on this left hand side, this near side. They're playing, of course, from right to left in their traditional red and black, and Newcastle West in their black and white. Possession now for Stephen Keeley. He's got options to his left hand side. That option is Owen Ryan. Again, more patient build up by Adare. They're being forced to do so and work the ball from side to side by a very diligent Newcastle West attack at the moment. In possession now is David Connolly for this Adare side. Connolly now taking on Sean Murphy. Gives the ball off, and it was a good pass. It's Hugh Burke in possession. Newcastle West fouling again. Probably that bit far out for Hugh Burke, so it might be a chance for Robbie Burke to get his second point of the game, Matt.
Yeah, and certainly any inroads they can make into that lead, they will need to make it, because like it's a sizable lead now. It's 9 points, 2-6 to 3 points. Certainly Harry Gleeson, and you referred to it earlier, John, and his backroom team and his high-powered backroom team, they will have some job of work to do at half-time to rally it there, because they're very, very flat in the way they're going about it. They haven't in this first 25 odd or 20 odd minutes of play, they don't appear to have the same sense of urgency as Newcastle West. For a team that are going for 3 in a row, they just don't seem to. Newcastle West, there's no question about it. The scoreboard is not lying. They've had the upper hand. They've had defended numbers, broke at pace, press forward on the kick out, and like they have Adare under severe pressure.
Yellow card for Owen Hurley there just before Hugh Burke takes this free. It was for that foul on Paul Maher back a couple of minutes ago inside the Adare half, as Hugh Burke gets a good strike on this one, pops it over the bar. It's his third of the afternoon or the evening at this stage. 2-5 to 4 points favour Newcastle West, Matt, and a much needed score for Adare.
A much needed score, John, and certainly I suppose the thoughts of the management team will be exercised at this stage as they prepare to go in for half time, and they will certainly be looking at their bench. And looking at their bench, you just wonder, apart from Shane Doherty, what is there that Shane, that are genuine game changers.
It's going to be another chance for Owen Hurley here as another foul in the Adare defence. It's AJ O'Connor who was fouled on this occasion, and it's going to be another chance for Hurley. 1-4 to his name, and as we come up to just before half time, 29 minutes gone, and Hurley now looking to make this 1-5. Very impressive performance so far from the Newcastle West number 13. Just over the 20 metres, just outside the 21 metre mark. And that's easy for Owen Hurley, Matt, and that's another score for Newcastle West.
Yeah, it's another. They're chipping away and incrementally building the lead, and the mountain for Adare in the second half is getting higher and higher and higher. And I'd say at this point, they've got their wish that Jonathan Hayes has brought the first half to a close.
Half time here in McNeville Park in this Limerick Senior Football Championship semi-final. It's Newcastle West who are on top. They lead Adare, 2 times champions of the last 2 years. Adare 2-6 to 4 points. Join us shortly for the second half. To Michael O'Leary now passes to Ian Corbett. Corbett stretches the play out to that far side to William Hurley. Hurley's long left-footed delivery straight into the hands of Ronan Connolly. Not sure why that pass was attempted, but either way it's Adare in possession. That's David Connolly who hand passes this down the line. That's Mikey Lyons in possession. Mike O'Keefe went for the interception but missed out, and it's Adare now on the run. Good hit though. In fact, it's going to be an advantage for Adare. It's Ronan Connolly in possession. Gets the hand pass away, and there's a bit of space here for Adare. It's into Jack English. Matt O'Callaghan's already mentioned his dangerous ability, but it's Newcastle West snuff out that attack, and it's AJ O'Connor in possession. Gives it to Thomas Quilligan. It's going to be back to AJ O'Connor again. Under pressure from Robbie Burke. But it's O'Connor in possession right in front of us here in McNeville Park to Mike O'Leary. Back to O'Connor again. Plays it quickly into Jamie Lee on this occasion. Lee now. Bit of room for maybe a shot from AJ O'Connor. Just takes a bit much out of it. A hand pass into Jamie Lee. It's Lee now looking to get possession. Shooting chance for Jamie Lee. Well blocked though by Adare, and it's Adare that will come out with possession. Matt, good attack by Newcastle West, but Adare did well to snuff it out.
They did well to snuff it out, John. But since we've been away at half time, we have an attack here by Ian Corbett, is it? And it's gone wide, but the wind has practically disappeared, so that it is no longer a factor. And for people that know McNeville Park here, probably the fall now is probably a bigger factor than the wind, and it favours Newcastle West. But at this stage in the game, knowing what they are capable of, like, this is a very, very big half for the like of leaders like Ian Corbett, Thomas Quilligan, the captain, Michael O'Keefe, Michael O'Leary, even Mike Quilligan, the goalkeeper. They have been around for so long. The others, the younger players, will be looking to those to close it out now and to strangle the life out of it there. And we have a goal.
Fantastic move by Adare Ryan. It's finished by Owen Ryan. Their centre back coming all the way back up from his defence. Good, brilliant hand passing really, then took the pass in, and a cool finish from the Adare centre back.
Absolutely a fantastic finish by Owen Ryan, and this is typical of the way that throughout this campaign Adare have been hitting teams and getting these goals. It was excellent use of the ball. It was excellent the way that fellas made themselves available, and it's a huge tonic for Adare. It's a 5 points game, another point or two into it, game on.
Big tonic for Adare at the start of the second half. They've cut Newcastle West lead from 2-6 to 1-4 now, and it's Adare a big boy for them after that. It's going to be a free for Newcastle West. Ian Corbett looking to take this. Takes it short, and it's given to Owen Hurley. Hurley does well to hold on to possession. A big hit put in there by Owen Ryan, the Adare goal scorer. And Adare now with space. Thomas Quillen got 1 point in the first half. Chance maybe to get a second here. Gives the ball off to Jamie Lee. Lee quickly surrounded by a couple of Adare defenders. Comes back. Good dummy from Michael Leary to create space up against Hugh Burke. And Newcastle West now having to play the ball backwards and set up a more patient attack. Working the ball from side to side. Good funneling back from Adare's defence, it has to be said. Only two Adare players in the Newcastle West half, and one of them at midfield. And only Jack English inside the 45 metre line from Adare, but it's Newcastle West in possession. It's William Hurley, it's going all the way back again. That's Mike O'Keefe. It's Brian Hurley then again, trying to inject a bit of pace into this, but it comes all the way out to Thomas Quilligan again. Left footed ball in looking for Jamie Lee. Lee does well to try and win possession. It's good defending though on that occasion from Jack Fitzgerald, getting a hand to it, Matt. But now we've a different game. In fact, it was Oren Collins who's been doing a man marking job. Looks to be a push in the back there on AJ O'Connor by the Adare defender. That's AJ O'Connor with possession. Gets the ball into Michael Leary. Chance maybe. It's given all the way back to Early. Shooting chance for the Newcastle West number 30. Brilliant block down though, it has to be said, by Paul Maher. But it's Newcastle West still in possession. It's Ian Corbett. Looks to drop this one in and around the square, looking for Mike McMahon, but that's gone to the left and wide.
Yeah, it's very important from an Adare point of view that they don't allow Newcastle West provide a response in the shape of a score, and that you can see that they're defending desperately, and it is not in the nature the way they're set out at the moment with huge numbers behind the ball. They tend to play the whole field normally, but they're not. They've got a goal. The tonic of a goal. It has made inroads into the lead, and they are sort of defending their new position.
Paul Maher now in possession as Adare looking to move forward again. Robbie Burke, quick offload to his brother Hugh, and Hugh follows on with that. Possession now for Ronan Connolly. on this Adare side. Definitely tugged back by Owen Hurley. It's advantage to Adare. Ball's played in down. It's Jack English now. Target man for Adare inside that full forward line. English forced to come back outside. A good pressure by Ian Corbett. It's going to be Corbett. No, in fact, it's not Corbett. It's Newcastle West coming out with the ball. That's good defending from Newcastle West on that occasion. Well, doing very well to scupper that Adare attack, and away they come over this near side now. That's Mike O'Keefe in possession. O'Keefe forced to turn back, but he has options, and that option is William Hurley Jr. And a good bit out from his goal is Michael Quilligan Jr., but happy to come well off his line to take possession. He's under a bit of pressure now. Manages to get rid of the ball quickly. William Hurley now for Newcastle West. Foot pass in. Playing advantage again is the referee. And it's Brian Hurley now in possession. In fact, that's Seamus Hurley in possession. Gives the ball to Michael Leary and work quickly then on land again to Stephen Brosnan. Brosnan now has a couple of options. One of them is Jamie Lee. Lee with the hand pass. Bit of space maybe here. Scoring chance. It's AJ O'Connor. Does well to hold on to possession. Looking for a free. Loses possession. He's gone down holding his face. Referee Jonathan Hayes saying no free, but has blown up play for that head injury. And Matt O'Callaghan, another chance maybe for Newcastle West to get it. They tried to work it to AJ O'Connor, but maybe AJ a little bit unlucky not to get a free there.
Yeah, a bit unlucky. It looked from here as if it was a free, and is it not a free, or is it just? Yeah, it's just attention for AJ O'Connor, but Newcastle West are swarming forward. But everything that they have thrown at Adare since we came back after half time, Adare have resisted it, and they have resisted it. The type of inroads that they were making in the first half, they're not doing it against the Adare defence in the second half. Now we have seen a few cameos of what Jack English as a target man on the edge of the square can do, although he has moved out now. He seems to be at centre half forward now, although maybe he's probably only following the full back.
Newcastle West have possessions in straight into my man looking for a break. There's good defending back there, and it's Adare that will come away with possession now. Under pressure is the Adare defender. He's been tugged back. It's going to be a free, and it's going to be brought forward as well. Newcastle West not letting Davy Lyons take that free quickly like he was looking to do, and Lyons plays this ball across, and it's Paul Maher in possession now for Adare. In fact, it's Ronan Connolly. Now it's Paul Maher in possession. Played back to Adare captain Shane Doherty. Doherty looking to make inroads into this Newcastle West side. And Stephen Keeley now instead for Adare, and it's into Ronan Connolly. Good work from Brian Hurley though, putting pressure on Ronan Connolly, and Connolly forced to come into the middle to Paul Maher. Maher now looking at what options he has, decides to take on Sean Murphy, beats him fairly easily, and it's Adare now launching an attack over on that far side. Hand pass comes across, it's hand pass to no one. Shane Doherty takes possession now, takes control of the situation coming down this right hand side. Has to be a patient build up by Adare's. Newcastle West have several forwards behind the ball in defence. Robbie Burke now plays it to brother Hugh looking to fashion a shooting chance, plays it back to Robbie instead. Hand pass by Robbie into Jack English. English lifts the ball off as well. Shooting chance well blocked down. It was Shane O'Connor had that chance. It's fallen well for Adare though, and it's Hugh Burke in possession. Good pressure from Owen Hurley amongst others there for Newcastle West. A hit and hope ball by Hugh Burke, and it's well won by Mikey Lyons. It has to say Newcastle West now looking to win possession, but it's still Adare who hold on to it. Good play by Adare to hold on to the ball. It's Owen Ryan now. We've just seen what he can do a few moments ago with that goal. The start of the second half. Shooting chance now. Is Davy Lyons going to get this shot on? As Davy Lyons gets another for Adare Matton. There's only 4 between the teams.
That's all. They had to be very, very patient, because during that passage of play, Newcastle West had all of 13 players behind the ball, but this is typical of Adare. They won't be rushed. They're happy with the patient build up, and they were purposeful, and now they've certainly have the lead, and Newcastle West have yet to score in the half.
No, Newcastle West without a score, and it's Adare in possession again through Ronan. David Connolly. Chance now for Hugh Burke. Hugh Burke has Paul Maher on the run. It's going to be a free in, you'd have to think there. no question that there was a foul on that occasion. Another chance to put a goal between the teams.
Yeah, they pressurised the kick out, won it around the middle and hit him at pace right through the middle. And Newcastle West were left with no option in that particular case other than to foul Paul Maher. Paul Maher, who's back in the team, has actually thundered into the game in the second half now. He seems to be playing coming from deeper. He was forward in the first half, but perhaps it was a settling in period for him coming back into the side. But certainly he has been a huge influence in the 10 minutes or so that we've had in the second half, John.
Another chance for Uberk to add to his total. This will be his 4th point if he manages to pop this one over. And he does that with absolute aplomb. Goal between the teams, Matt. We've watched just 11 minutes played of the second half.
Yeah, it's game on, John. You'd have to say it is game on. And what's absolutely crucial at this point, and I know it's a bit of a cliche and we've said it in the past, is the next score. Absolutely vital. No matter from a Newcastle West perspective, they need to get a score now because they are under the cosh around the middle third where they were dominating in the first half. It's Adare now who have the upper hand there, and Adare have their tails up.
It's another turnover there for Newcastle West. William Hurley dispossessed the possession. And it's Davy Lyons who did so. It's half-time substitute. Looks like he came on for Jack Fitzgerald. We'll confirm that as soon as we get info on that one. It's going to be a talking to for William Hurley. Newcastle West number 5 right half back. Stern talking to, and a yellow card. In fact, it's a black card for William Hurley, and that's a big blow to Newcastle West, Matt.
Yeah, it's a big blow, a black card. Obviously, the referee was in a very good spot to see it. He was right there with the play. It's a bit away from us. You know, John, we really need the lights to be turned on at this time.
We're definitely getting to that stage, all right, here in McNeville Park. Just coming into the 13th minute of this second half. Adare on the attack again. Hugh Burke to Ronan Connolly. David Connolly, in fact. Chance now for Shane O'Connor. It's well blocked down. Shane O'Connor taking the wrong option on that occasion. Now a chance for Newcastle West and Jamie Lee to start another attack for the Magpies, but slowed down again. Adare funneling numbers back. Both sides have done exactly that against what was a strong breeze at the beginning here in McNeville Park. It's certainly not that now. It's negligible at this stage. As Newcastle West down to 14 after that sin binning, or that black card I should say, for William Hurley. Looks to be Lee Wolfe that's warming up over on that far side. We'll confirm that when we get an opportunity to. Either way, it's Ian Corbett in possession for Newcastle West. Right footed pass by Corbett, 50-50 balls, well won there by Jamie Lee. Lee now tugged back by an Adare defender. And it's going to be a free to Newcastle West, and Jamie Lee down, Matt, as Newcastle West return to the full complement.
Yeah, and Jamie Lee is down. Is worrying for Newcastle West at this point, because he in this second half, of all the leaders on the team, he has been the most prominent in trying to rally him, because the Newcastle West, they're definitely under the cosh at the moment. You must have remembered, John, that they have seen what at one stage was a 9 points lead in the first half. It's reduced to 3 at this stage, and they have failed so far to score in the second half. So, as I said a number of moments ago, John, it's a challenge, and it's a challenge to the senior and the experienced players on the team to stand up and close out the game. But Adare have got a foothold in it, and at this point you would have to say it's anybody's game.
Absolutely it is. Shane O'Connor has left the Adare team. He's been replaced by Mark Connolly, and Connolly's gone. It looks to be a straight swap. He's gone right into the full forward line, and it is Lee Wolfe, we think, that has replaced William Hurley on the Newcastle West side. Just haven't that confirmed as of yet. That black card for the Newcastle West number 5. Ian Corbett in possession now around midfield for Newcastle West. Patient build up again by them. It's Thomas Quilligan, the Newcastle West captain, has Sean Murphy in space over the side. Murphy goes back inside to Brian Hurley. It's going to be on that far side for Newcastle West. Again, has to be patient. Ian Corbett always looking for the ball, it has to be said. Happy to take possession for this Newcastle West side. It's Brian Hurley. very patient all the way back again by Newcastle West, and it's Mike O'Keefe in possession, hand passes it to Brian Hurley. Hurley gets the ball away, and Stephen Brosnan. Hurley looks to have been fouled. Jonathan Hayes is playing advantage here. That advantage is now lapsed, and it's Jamie Lee now in possession for Newcastle West. Good build up from Newcastle West, patient. Quilligan looks to give that inside long to Mike McMahon, chooses not to in the end, and Sean Murphy now works this. Murphy has also been fouled there by Davy Lyons. Shooting chance for Owen Hurley. He knows he has shooting with the advantage on that occasion. It's going to be a free, Matt, and probably a needless one to be done by Adare on that occasion.
Yeah, a needless one at this juncture in the game because they had the upper hand, although in the last 2 or 3 minutes Newcastle West were beginning to get a foothold and in the Adare into the field, and it's a free now for Owen Hurley, which you would have to say, based on his first half performance, is certainly within his compass. It's definitely free into Newcastle. Yeah, it is. I was just wondering there for a moment. They are a bit slow in getting back because, but they're assuming that he's going to have a pot at it.
He also, of course, has the option to dropping it in short for Mike McMahon, but dropping it in high to Mike McMahon, who has not moved from that spot in and around the edge of the square. Certainly in the last 10 minutes or so. We've watched just over 16 and a half minutes played of the second half, and it's still Newcastle West leading 2-6 to 1-6, but as Matt O'Callaghan has already mentioned several times in commentary, Newcastle West without a score in this second half, and we're coming close to 17 minutes of this half. Big chance for Owen Hurley to add to his total.
Really, John, with this one, there is very, very little room for error. Now, it's by no manner of means a gimme, but it is a kickable free. Now, I think, has there been a change made at the far side of the field? It's hard to see it from here. Dermot Kelly has come on for Brian Hurley, is it? It would look. Dermot Kelly, who of course was a very, very exciting minor, not only with Newcastle West but with Limerick about 3 years ago. Very, very exciting young player.
There's a change in Newcastle West side. It's the very, very talented, as Matt O'Callaghan mentioned, Dermot Kelly, who's entered the fray for them. And it looks like Seamus Hurley is okay to continue. He was down in back play there. That's what the delay in this Owen Hurley free was. Owen Hurley lining this one up. Hugh Burke is protesting that Hurley has got a couple of yards while Seamus Hurley was down getting attention. It's a good strike from Owen Hurley. Looks to be dropping in around the square. Can Mike McMahon get a hand on it? He did get a hand on it, but it went the wrong side of the post, and that was a chance, Matt.
It was a chance, and it was one that they really need to have had to score. This is going to be a boost to Adare now if they can get possession from this kick out, which they haven't. It's Newcastle West attacking again through Owen Hurley, trying to make amends, and doing just that, making amends with a crucial point. With what, about 17 minutes gone in the second half, it's their first goal. It gives them a cushion, and it relays down the challenge to Adare.
Yeah, fantastic score for Owen Hurley there, and that's 1-5 to his. Adds another point to his total. It was at 1-4, now it's at 1-5, and more crucially than all of that, a fantastic win there by Sean Murphy. 50-50 ball in. He rose high to beat Aidan O'Connor on that one. It's a bit of a boost as Jamie Lee looks to pop over. Another one for Newcastle West, and that's exactly what Jamie Lee has done, Matt. We're waiting for this to be given. We're wondering, Jonathan Hayes has gone up to one of the Adare players. We'll confirm that, Matt, either way, fantastic finish by Jamie Lee.
Absolutely. This is what we have come to expect, and what we've seen from Jamie Lee over the years. Like he's a clinical finisher, and that was an absolutely excellent point. It was out on the right, kicked it with his right foot, and his direction was, his radar was absolutely spot on.
There's bloods up here for Adare. We'll confirm who's on in a moment, but it's a Newcastle West in possession. It's Aidan O'Connor that's definitely gone off as a result of that hit by Sean Murphy. Ian Corbett now with a chance, and that's the third point in very quick succession from Newcastle West, Matt, and that's given them control of this game yet again.
Yeah, they've regained control of the game, and they gradually got back into the game over the last 5 minutes, and that's 3 points in as many minutes. But more significantly, John, at this stage of the game, facing almost into the last 10 minutes, and the lights are on, it's a 6 points lead.
Yeah, that's the bigger thing certainly for Newcastle West. Jonathan Hayes not happy that free has been, or that goal kick has been taken quickly. Bit of pushing and shoving between Shane Doherty and Owen Hurley. Much ado about nothing really. And Thomas Quilligan kicks that ball back into the Adare keeper Brendan Carmody. And it's going to be Carmody that restarts this. 2-9 to 1-6 in favour of this Newcastle West team. We've just 21 minutes, coming up to 21 minutes played of this second half. And Matt, we said Adare had all the play in the early stages of this second half, and Newcastle West have settled again and are in firm control.
They are in firm control. They have obviously weathered the storm, and you would have, even though they were on the front foot in the early stages after half time, they ran into their defence that was disciplined and organised, and they were unable to make progress against it. And then Adare got their spell up here, got a very good goal, tacked on a couple of points, reduced the margin to 3 points. It looked game on, but now as the minutes tick on, it's looking more and more like the 3 in a row dream. The chase for 3 in a row is about to come to an end.
Looking that way at the moment, and Jamie Lee in possession, looking for another score for Newcastle West. It's Lee has it inside to Sean Murphy. Murphy with a chance, maybe decides to give it off. Sorry, that was Ian Corbett. Poor pass by Sean Murphy, and away come Adare with David Connolly. It's going to be a free to Adare. Connolly looking out to this near side, and Oren Collins. In fact, it's Owen Ryan, the Adare goal scorer, who has possession, not Oren Collins, and it's Ryan now has Hugh Burke on the inside. Good movement by Hugh Burke, looking to get a fantastic challenge by Stephen Brosnan, and away come Newcastle West. It's Mike McMahon with the ball. He's got Dermot Kelly in plenty of space over on this near side, and Kelly's in absolutely no rush to move this ball on. Eventually gives a hand pass to AJ O'Connor now, and AJ O'Connor being marked by Shane Doherty. Shrugs that challenge brilliantly, does O'Connor on the run. He's got Michael O'Leary with possession. O'Leary now trying to look for a shooting chance. Maybe better off to give this out. He tried to do that, tried to give it to Dermot Kelly, but it's Robbie Burke who wins the ball, and he plays a fine ball forward to Mark Connolly. It's Mark Connolly now in possession for Adare. Thomas Quilligan chasing him, Sean Murphy also chasing him, and it's Murphy that gets to him first, and Quilligan then helping out, looking to win the ball back. He's definitely taking it off him. It's a 50-50 ball at the moment, and it's going to be Mike O'Keefe who wins it for Newcastle West, and it's Ian Corbett that takes it away. Corbett now will run right through the heart of that Adare team. A brilliant run by Ian Corbett, inspirational run by the Newcastle West number 9. He's won a free as well, and that just eats up more time. Matt, absolutely outstanding. Just when he was needed, Ian Corbett comes to the fore.
Yeah, but it's not just winning the free, John, there, but he had made 40 or 50 metres before he won the free, and like he gave them all they could do to pull him down. Like, he's such a strong runner, as not only we have seen in Limerick, but the nation has seen during the year with his performance, particularly against Tipperary in the Munster Championship. But that's what Ian Corbett gives to you. There was an absolute, he went like an express train for it, like determination all over him, and eventually had to be fouled. It had to be the net result, because he was going to keep going.
No question, Ian Corbett was going to run as close to the goal as he could, and he was stopped by the Adare players, which seems to be now it's going to be a throw ball for the afters. So that well-earned free by Ian Corbett doesn't amount to anything, but it's a good big win and by Mike McMahon coming out from his full forward position, and it's Lee Wolfe now on the run for Newcastle West. Ball's played inside to Dermot Kelly. Kelly happy to hold on to possession. He's got options behind him. One of them is Darren O'Doherty, and it's Darren O'Doherty in possession now for Newcastle West. And Matt O'Callaghan, this is all Newcastle West will have to do for the remaining 5 minutes or so.
Oh yeah, they're quite happy to play it in this area of the field, but I honestly think over the last couple of minutes that the Adare challenge has fizzled out. They look very, very flat. They're just not able to create any. They're not able to get anything going at this stage. I think that they're into miracle territory at this stage, and we see at this stage, with 5 minutes to go, we see the one and only Stephen Kelly about to make an entrance. It is Stephen Kelly that is about to come on. I'm trying to figure out who is gone off. I haven't seen anyone going off yet. But it looks as if it's Stephen Kelly is replacing Thomas Quilligan. It is Stephen Kelly is replacing the Newcastle West captain, whose evening at this stage is over, and it's probably job done. He's satisfied that it is job done. Meanwhile, we're going to resume with a free which will be taken by the goalkeeper, Michael Quilligan, who is no stranger, of course, to taking frees.
No, very adept from this kind of range is Michael Quilligan, the Newcastle West goalkeeper. An element of time wasting maybe perhaps by Newcastle West, bringing goalkeeper all the way up to take this one. We've an Adare sub. Jack English has gone off the Adare team as well. Quilligan has struck that fairly well, but it's going to trail fairly well to the right on that occasion. And Adare will have a kick out. Adare needs something to happen pretty fast here, and that kick out like that doesn't help, but they've gotten away with it for the moment anyway.
It's all about, at this stage for Newcastle West, easing up the seconds, winding down the clock, and they haven't too long more to wind it down, and they have a 6 points cushion. It's not as if they're defending a point or a 2 points lead. They are almost in the comfort zone, certainly on the scoreboard, and I suppose Adare's biggest enemy at this point, John, is time.
It's Roy Gleeson that's come on this Adare side. He's operating inside and full forward. And you'd imagine it's goals that Adare need at this moment in time. It's Adare on the attack through Aidan O'Connor. And it's Ronan Connolly. David Connolly in possession for Adare. Connolly now trying to fashion a bit of room. And it's Paul Maher now in the middle of the park, but he's fairly quickly closed down. Good work from Newcastle West. It was Lee Wolfe on that occasion who got to him. It's Oran Collins now in possession for Adare, and it's lateral movement from Adare at the moment. We're in and around the square, they need that ball, but you may notice on camera as well that Mike McMahon, the big Newcastle West full forward, is now operating in his own full back line. That's 100% down to the fact that it's a chance here as AJ O'Connor plays the ball, and in space here is O'Hurley. Two Adare players trying to catch him. That's Stephen Keeley and Mikey Lyons, but O'Hurley has the shot and it's just tailed to the left and wide. He had a runner on that.
He had. Jamie Lee was making a run here, and had he got it, there are a few better finishers than Jamie Lee. But again, it's a wide ball, but it is eating up time.
Indeed it is. It's going to be a kick out for Brendan Carmody, but we're what? 28, just coming up to 28 and a half minutes gone. In fact, I think a sideline ball has been given all the way over there. We're coming back for that, so that's even better news for Newcastle West. And there'll be in absolutely no rush to take that, and it's hard to blame them with a 6 point lead. 2-9 to 1-6 in this Limerick Senior Football Championship semi-final, brought to you on Limerick GAA TV.
I suppose it's fair to say, John, that and we said it at the outset, they have been 2 years waiting for this. They have a score to settle with it there, and they look like they have settled it now. It wasn't. It was that the ball was, there was something wrong with the ball, and Brendan Carmody had to get a new ball, because there was an unlikelihood. It looked as if they were signalling a line ball there, but it was actually it was a replacement ball they were getting. But that's immaterial at this stage. It would want to be a ball that would, every time you'd kick it, it would want to get a goal for Adare at this stage.
Absolutely, Matt, and it was a good take there by Michael Quilligan inside the Newcastle West goal. Dangerous enough ball in, especially with a swirling breeze. Just starting to kick up a little bit again here in McNeville Park. And it's Adare moving forward again. It's Jack Fitzgerald, who's been introduced for Davy Lyons in the last few minutes. Wearing number 2, gets the hand pass away. And it's a chance for Hugh Burke. Hugh Burke looking to take this one on, decides to take it left-footed. Fantastic score from Hugh Burke, Matt, but it's goals that Adare need at this stage.
It's goals that they need, and certainly at this point you would have to think that we're in consolation territory for Adare at the moment. it's I think that it's up on the half hour is up, and it's whatever Jonathan Hayes, who we have to say handled the game quite well and quite efficiently. It's up to whatever he'll decide to add on at this point.
It is, and it's Newcastle West in possession. That's exactly what they'll want in its closing stages. And it's the right man on the ball for them with that concern as well. Ian Corbett, AJ O'Connor, who's worked tireless for this Newcastle West team throughout the 60 minutes. And as Matt mentioned, time is up. It's Jamie Lee now wearing number 26 for Newcastle West. Got a cast removed this morning to play in this game. And it's Diarmuid Kelly now in possession. Kelly happy to keep possession. All the way over to Lee Wolf, and it's Mike McMahon now in possession. He's got Stephen Kelly inside the full forward line. McMahon will go for it himself, and that's an outstanding score by the vastly experienced Mike McMahon and Matt O'Callaghan. That's the cherry on top for Newcastle West.
It certainly is, and he not only had he the courage to go for it, but he trusted himself to go for it, and he set it up, queued it up, and an excellent finish. And there'll be no one happier in this ground than Big Mike with that score, I'd imagine.
100% in agreement with that one, Matt. As Adare come forward again, it's Mark Connolly in possession. Connolly gets the ball off to Paul Maher. That's a foul by Owen Hurley. Advantage being played. Absolutely not a foul, according to Jonathan Hayes. It looked from our vantage point that he'd been pulled down, maybe looking for a free, and that's what Jonathan Hayes decided. As AJ O'Connor comes away with possession, it's Diarmuid Kelly. Looks for Jamie Lee. You could hear Jamie Lee calling for that ball. As Jamie Lee in possession now. Brilliant work by Jamie Lee. Aidan O'Connor comes in with a very hefty challenge on Jamie Lee there. Jamie Lee is down injured. Just have to wonder how serious an injury it is for Jamie Lee. At this moment in time, Matt, it's shipped a fairly heavy challenge. And a bit of trouble now for Aidan O'Connor. It's a second yellow card for Aidan O'Connor, followed by a red. And that's a red card for the Adare fullback. Maybe a bit of frustration on that occasion. And Jamie Lee happily is okay to continue. He goes away. Just do wonder, Matt, how serious that injury was. Either way, it's a red card for Aidan O'Connor, and absolute frustration on his part.
Frustration on Aidan O'Connor's part, but I honestly thought, and we had a bird's eye view of it here, if we were a few feet nearer, we'd have got a belt out of it ourselves, but he... Jimmy didn't see it coming. He didn't see it coming, and it was the shock and the impact of it. But Jimmy had did very well to have retained the ball there. With three Adare players around him, he had done exceptionally well.
Jonathan Hayes, referee, has said 2 minutes of additional time left in this game. We've already played nearly 3 of that, so. As Matt mentioned a few moments ago, we're at his discretion now, and it's Mikey Lyons in possession for this Adare team. 2-10 to 1-7 they trail. They got a free here. It's going to have to be taken quickly and launched in. And that's exactly what Mikey Lyons has done. A couple of Newcastle West players going for that. It's brilliantly fielded, and away they come with it. And it's Darren O'Doherty with an excellent take there, Matt, and he's been a rock for them at full back tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Has coped very well with everything that was thrown in. Now, Jack English, when he went in, provided a different challenge for a few minutes, but certainly Newcastle West weathered that, and they will move forward to the final pretty confident. This probably has been their best performance of the year. Now, you come here 3 in a row chasing Adare side that hadn't lost a game in the Limerick Championship since 2017, all the way back to 2017, and they won the championship that year, but they lost in the third round, I think, to Drum Bradford of the group stages, but it didn't affect them progressing. Lost no game in the group stages last year, lost no game in the group stages this year, progressed to the semi-finals directly on both years, but I think they've been well beaten here this evening.
Yeah, it's Newcastle West, the end of the road for this Adare team at this stage. A fantastic champions they've been for the last couple of years. But it looks like their tenure as Limerick Senior Football Champions is at an end here. That's come to the end against Newcastle West side, as Matt O'Callaghan has mentioned, fully deserving of this victory tonight. And it's going to be an entertaining final. St. Kieran's and in the second semi-final next Friday night in the Gaelic grounds, in the LIT Gaelic grounds. Fascinating battle ahead there, and whoever wins that game will face Newcastle West in the final. and Zoran Collins in possession for Adare. It's a fruitless task here Adare done, but they're still going, it has to be said. Much credit due to him for that, as Mikey Lyons is what can only be described as rugby tackled there by Seamus Hurley, and I'd imagine it's going to be a black card.
I'd imagine it's going to be a black card, even at this late stage. It's going to be a black card, because the rule is the rule, whether it's the first or the last minute. I think he's going to show him a black card. It was a black card all day. No question about that. It's that type of cynical foul that the black card was brought in for, and that's your classic example of what a black card offence should be. And it's Mike McMahon, and it's all over. Mike McMahon had the last action of the game. He punched that away. I think he actually pushed it out for a 45, but it doesn't matter. Jonathan Hayes has ordained that time is up, and I suppose he has also ordained that Adare's reign as Limerick senior football champions is up. But it would be remiss of us, I suppose, John, if we didn't pay tribute to Adare. They have been fantastic champions over the last 2 years. They've been on a fantastic run as a club. When they were relegated in 2015, instead of wallowing in their defeat, they went away later that year, won the Premier under 21 championship, came back the following year, won the intermediate championship, were straight back up senior, won the senior championship and the under 21 Premier in 2017, and won the senior championship again last year, and we're going for a 3 in a row here this evening, and you can just see the sporting manner out there in which they are handing over their crown. They have been great champions, and we say well done to Adare, and in this particular Adare team we certainly haven't seen the end of it. I think they will be back again, but full credit to Newcastle West. They came here with a mission, and their task was sizable. They were facing a 3 in a row side, a side that had been playing absolutely smashing during the group stages of the competition, and they went about it right from the start, and they displayed a hunger, right from the get-go, knocked over four early points, and build on it from there. A hunger that they were not leaving McNeville Park this evening without having qualified for the county final, and they will go on to the county final full of confidence. And we've spoken about Adare's the good run that they've had in the championship, but Newcastle West have only lost one game in the group stages in 2 years. Now, they got overturned in the semi-final last year. They got shocked by Ballylanders, who were coming in on the back of having a good quarter-final tussle with Ballysteen, and got to the final. And I suppose it's coincidence that Newcastle West have had a good tussle with Ballysteen in the quarter-final this year, and they're now progressing to the final. They're going to progress full of confidence. What a battle it would be, what a mouth-watering final it would be, were they to meet St. Kieran's. That is one of the great rivalries, not only in West Limerick. It is one of the real great rivalries, and what a final it would make. But of course, Ull are there, and Ull are the only team that have beaten Newcastle West this year. So we're looking forward to a fascinating semi-final in the Gaelic grounds next Friday night, and I have no doubt that Newcastle West will be glued to every bit of it. But they will face that with confidence. But it's look, we have one of the ingredients of what could be a great county final.
Indeed we do, Matt. A fascinating semi-final and final to look forward to. That's all from us here from McNeville Park here in Rathkeale. Newcastle West are in the county final. They've beaten Adare in a scoreline of 210-17. Join us soon on Limerick GAA TV for more live action.